Everyone, today we will see how to get the list of all your friends which you have on Facebook in an Excel. So for now, if you want to get the list of, if you want to see all of your friends, what you need to do is go on your profile, go into your profile, and once you are there, then you need to click on Friends tab, and from here you can get the list of all of your friends. My network is little slow, that's why it is taking time to load. Alright, so here is the list of friends, but this is again on Facebook. What if you want to get the name and the mutual friends, number of mutual friends that you have stored in an Excel? How can you do that? That's what we're gonna learn today. So what I'll do is I'll quickly take this URL, not the complete URL, but only this facebook.com, right? I'm not going to take my username into that. Now I will just put that over here. So like you can see, I already have pasted it over here. This kind of setup, I mean, if you don't have Chrome driver already set up in your system, I have created a separate video. Link is given in the description section. Just check that out. Okay. Now, when I click this will open the Chrome and it will open Facebook. Before that, in advance, what I'll do is I'll just create my user ID. I'll just store my user ID and password. So user ID is, I need to store it as string. So this is stored. Now over here I need to store my password, but if I type my password, you will see and you will hack my account. So for that, what I have done is I have imported one module which is called getPass, right? So you can also use that. When I use getPass, so what it gonna do is I will just use getPass, that is the module, and that provides a function which is again getPass, and when you do this, it will ask you to enter the password and that will be stored in encrypted mode. So when I enter this, now you cannot see my password, and that is stored in this particular variable, my password. Now the next thing, what I'll do is now I will execute this patch. So when I execute this patch, like you can see, no Chrome window is opened. When I click this, it's gonna open the Chrome window. Now like you can see, it just opened the Chrome window. Now it is taking us to the Facebook page. Over here we need to create a button for this, I mean a variable for this and this. These three things we need to create. How can we do that? For that, let me just in advance create over here user name, and after that here I will create password, and then what I will do is I will create login button. Three things we gonna do in advance over here. Login button. Alright, these three things. Now let's just see how can we locate this particular box, right? So for that, you need to right click into that, go on inspect, and once you click on this inspect, you're gonna get this kind of window. So just click this arrow and hover on this particular box. When you do this, here you get the tag which is input, and in that, like you can see, you have all these attributes: type, class, data, test ID, etc. You can pick any of the attribute which is unique, right? So for simplicity, what I will just do is I'll pick this particular attribute from the input tag. Now I need to create the XPath to access this particular patch. So how can I do that? Just click on this, press Ctrl F, and this box will appear. In that, put /, and the tag which you want to access is input tag, and then start the square bracket, put @ and then put whatever attribute and its value you have copied, and then close the square bracket. Like you can see, it is selecting only one item, and that is this. So this is done. We are done with creating the XPath, right? So I will just change this double quote to the single quotation. Now I will come back over here, and all that I need to do is I need to say driver. Now if you are surprised where I'm getting this driver, then this is something which I have already defined over here. Like you can see, driver dot find element. Find element is the function which helps us to locate the item using a locator. So by dot xpath is my locator. In that I will put the xpath which I just copied. Now once you do this, this will access the user ID box. Inside that, you need to put your user ID. So for that, what you will do is you will use this particular variable, and then you will say send keys, and inside that you need to supply your user ID. This is the user ID which I have stored into this variable. Okay, so I will just say user ID. Okay, now once you do this, like you can see, this is blank, and once you hit Control Enter, you have the value supplied into it. Next thing which we need to do is access the password box. Same thing you're gonna do, click on this, and just come back over here, and into this, like here you can see here again, this is the this is for not for password, this is again for email. Here you need to come. Okay, now like you can see right over here, you see here this time again we have the input tag, and inside that we have type class, and which has the value password. So if you see, the only difference from the previous time is this: previously we had text, now this time we have password. When you click when you put password over here, this is selecting to this particular patch. Just copy this and come over here and just say driver dot find element by dot xpath, and inside that what you're gonna do is you just supply whatever you have copied from there. Once this is done, then you need to, so when you run this particular patch, it will access the password box. Now in the password box you need to supply your password, which is stored over here. So you're gonna say send keys, and inside that you will supply my password. Okay, so when you do this, it will just enter the password. Like you can see, it is entered. Next thing we need to do is click on this login button. Again, just take this arrow, hover on this, and when you see over here, here is what you get, right? So button tag, this time we have the button tag, and many attributes are there, so we can pick any. So this time I'm just going to pick this name login. Okay, and now let me just create the XPath for this thing. So what I'll do is, here I will just enter double slash, and then I will say button tag, and inside that I will say @ and put this thing, close this. Now like you can see, it is selecting this patch and it is selecting this button. So this is the correct XPath. We can come back over here. Here what we can say is driver dot find element, again find element, and inside that we're gonna put the locator. The locator which we are using is XPath. Alright, so here is the XPath, and now in over here you can just put whatever you copied from there, and this double quotation needs to be changed to the single quotation. Now once this is done, so this is the login button. We don't need to supply any value inside this, rather we need to click on this. So for that we need to click the function, we need to call the function click. So when you just do this, it will click on the login button and you will be landing in your Facebook. So let's just hit Control Enter. We just did this, and it is taking us to the profile. Now you see we are entering into the profile. Alright, so we are inside the profile. Once that's done, so here to be on safer side, what I'll do is I'll just put some wait time, so that when we run this, it will take 5 seconds to upload the page, right? Load the page. This time it is not required, but when we run it all together, that might be required. Now we are under the Facebook. Okay, next thing which we need to do is we need to go in our profile. So this is the home page. We require to go in our profile. I'll just change this appearance to this, right? So I just brought it at the bottom, and here is the at the bottom you have the search box, find box. Okay, so now we need to click on this particular button, but you can say it button or the profile name, right? Whatever you want. So just take this arrow, hover on this, and over here if you see, this is stored in span class, and in the span class we have the class attribute, style attribute, but the attribute name is little longer. So this time we will create a XPath basis on the text. So what I will say is span at and start the square bracket where text, I would say text equals to Samir Verma, right? So like you can see, it is selecting only one item. So I will just take this, and here I will say my profile equals to driver.find element, and inside that by.xpath, and inside that this thing. Okay, now on this again I will have to click. So I will just say click, and this is it. When you do so, we will be entering in my profile. Now if you see over here, it is taking us inside the profile. Little bit slow. Again I will give some time over here, slip time, let's say for 5 seconds. Okay, so that will be given over here. Now we are inside this. Next thing which we're gonna do is we're gonna click on the friends tab, right? So here we have the friends tab. Again, let's just take this arrow button and hover on this, and again, if you see over here, we are inside this tag. Inside this tag, here we have the value friends. Now let's just create the XPath for this thing. Again, Control F, and inside that, like this time you can see this text is under span tag. Okay, let me just create this. So this is again will remain same. Is just what we will do is we will just change the value. Alright, now like you can see, the moment I entered it, it is selecting one item, and that is that. So let's just take this and come back over here. Here I will create another variable which is called friends tab. Okay, and then let's just say driver dot find element, and in that we will put the locator, which is XPath, and inside that I'm just going to put this. Once this is done, then we require to click on this tab. So again, we will call the click function on top of this, and then we will take some time to load it. Let's give it 3 seconds. Let's run this. So it's still running. It completed the running. Now we must be inside the friends tab. We are inside the friends tab, like you can see over here, right? So now the next thing which we need to do is we pick the tag for any of the friend. Again, let's just take this arrow, hover on this, and when you do this, just right over here, you see here we have our friend's name. But this time, what is the attribute and what is the tag that you're gonna use? Because we can't use the friend name, otherwise that will pick only one. So we need to figure out a tag, unique tag. So let's just come little up. If you see over here, when you click on this, it is selecting your friend's name. Let's just come little up, and when you hover on this, it is selecting both of the two things, friend name and the number of mutual friends. So this is what we're gonna use. Let's just select this. This is unique ID for all of the friend name and number of mutual friends. This is residing under div class. So I will say Control F, div, inside that @ and put this, and then close this. Okay, I will change this double quote to the single quotation. Now you can see it is selecting 8 friends, right? It is showing 8 friends, but in total we have somewhere 400 friends, right? But as of now it is only showing 8, because this is a scroll down page. The more you scroll down, the more friends you will see. At one page it is showing 8 friends only. Now let's just take this and come over here and create a tag for this friends. Let's say friend's name. Okay, in that we will store both of the two things. Let's say driver dot find element, and inside that again we will use the XPath locator, and inside that this is the value. All right, and then we're gonna say friend's name. Okay, so that will be stored into it. We will just check the length of the friend's name, because that will be web elements. So we require to, okay, let me show you one by one. Okay, now when you run this, this is done. Okay, now after that, what you require to do is let's just see what is the value that we have got inside this friend's name. So here you see this is the web element. Now to what is we require to fetch the text out of that. Now you can see it just fetch the text friend name, which is Viveksha, and the number of mutual friends we have is 2, right? So this is it. This is how we fetch the friend's name. Now this was just one friend. Here we require to get all the friends' name. So all that you require to do is just take instead of find element, you just say find elements, right? All that you need to do is this. Once you do this, it will, this particular variable will become a list, and we will check a length of it. Okay, let's just say len. Okay, let me just say let me just do this. Okay, here let's say text. List object has no attribute text. Okay, that's fantastic. Now this is list. This list is created. Let's see how many friends that is it fetching, right? Friend's name, 8 friends it has extracted, which we were saying at the page. Now we need to print their name, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just say print friends name dot text, and when you see, this is what we are getting, because we need to iterate through it. So for that we would require to write a loop, right? So we're gonna say for f in friend's name, and just hit this. Now if you see over here, we just need to change this to f, and if you see here, we got all the friends name. You can do one more thing. If you don't want to see the mutual friends, you can just do this. Oops. All right, we will see that. That's something which you will have to split. For now, let's just see like this. Okay, so this is the thing which we got. Now we need to scroll down and fetch more values out of it, right? We just need to do that, but before that we would require to create a list or set. When we create list, it will end up appending the duplicate values. For example, when you do this on this screen, you are seeing 4 friends. When you scroll little down, what will happen? Some of the older friends are here and some new friends came over here. So this is the same thing will happen, and that's how you would have duplicate values into your data. So to avoid that, instead of creating a blank list, I will create the set of that. Okay, so let's just call it friends set, and in that I will supply a blank set. Okay, now once that is done, so instead of doing this print, I will say friend set dot add. Append does not work over here. Okay, and now let's just see what happens when you try to see this. Is it going, what is it that it's going to do? You see, this is what we get. This is working fantastic. Now this is just the 8 friends, right? Like you can see here, we got the here we might have some duplicates or something like that. No, we won't have the duplicate because this is set and it is always unique, right? So here you see Vivek Jha, Vivek Kumar, all these things are, this appears to be more than 8. Let's just see Len, and let's just see how many items that we have. 16. Okay, and all those 16 are unique. Okay, now this is fantastic. Next thing which we need to do is we need to scroll down, right? So all right, so what we did is from the first page we took this list, which was the list of 8 friends now, and we extracted each of the friend and we appended that in friends set. Okay, next thing which we need to do is we need to scroll down. Okay, let's just to scroll down, we have a JavaScript, right? So you don't have to worry about it. All that you need to do is just copy and paste the same thing which I am doing over here. You can also do the same thing, right? So once this is done, again what we require to do is just take this and put it over here. So what we are doing, we are scrolling down and then taking the friends tag and storing that into the friends name. Now once this is done, we will also check the length of friend set, because this will be a big list, and because it also takes the duplicate, so it will take huge amount of time. So I'm not I will be just fetching only, let's say 50 friends. Okay, so that's for that I will just say len, here I would say if len friends name set greater than, I will just say greater than 50, then just break it. I just want to say this, right? So once this is done, so what it will do is, first it is taking the friend tag, storing it into it, then iterating through each of the item and then appending that into the friend set. Once this is done, it is scrolling down and repeating this part again over here. Now once it repeats over here, what I want to do is I will also give it some time. Let's say I will say let's just sleep for 5 seconds. Okay, I would give some time to wait, right? So it will wait for 5 seconds, and then once this is done, then it will also check the length of this particular set. If that is greater than 50, then it will stop over there. If you want to fetch all, you can just remove this and you can keep it running for some time and it will fetch all the things, right? Once this is done, we also need to write a loop which we will say while true. This is what we need to do, and because that's a loop, so what I'll do is I'll just adjust it a little bit. Okay, now when you execute this, if it does not gives any error, it will fetch the all friend list up to 50. Okay, now let's just run this. This is running. It will take few moments, so till the time I'll pause the video. So now it is done with extracting the friends name, I mean list of friends name, which should be 50 in length or maybe some more than that. Let's just do a quick check on that. All right, so here we go. Friends set, actually friends set. All right, so here you see 55. So you just need to pay little attention on this loop, and then you will understand why it is 55. Now what we will do is, next we gonna create a data frame with all these lists. Okay, so for example, let's say if you want to okay, let me just import pandas as pd, and let's just see. So it is imported. Let's next which we're gonna do is we're gonna say df equals to pd dot data frame, and inside that we will supply the set which we have created, which is this, and just come back over here, and then we need to supply the column names, right? So what we will just say is columns, and we will supply a list which is just one. Okay, and then let's just see the values which we have created. These are the values which we have. Now over here, if you see, the friends name and number of mutual friends are concatenated, right? Both of these two things are together, so we just need to split this. So how can we do that? So for that, this is the data frame, and in from the data frame we need to take the variable name on which we want to split. Now this is a series, we need to convert that into a string. So here that is converted into a string, and after converting it into the string, we need to call the split function. So we will call split, and basis on what we want to split, if you just notice over here it says /n. okay, that means it is creating a new line. /n is for new line, right? So basis on this we will just split this. Okay, so here we will just say this. Okay, and let's just see. So this kind of a split it does, which is not looking much better, right? So what I will do is, we have a function which is we have a option which is called expand, and we just set it to true. Now this is going to look like this. We will store this in a new data frame. Let's call it df new, and inside that it will be stored, and let's just print that. Okay, so here this is how it gonna look like you can see it clearly, name and the number of mutual friends are separated. If you notice over here it says the friend name, and here it is showing location, because I don't have any mutual friend with this particular friend. Let me see if I have it open, and then I can show it to you quickly. Let's just come over here. All right, so it is not showing as of now, it is not available, but that's how it's gonna happen. That's how it happens, right? So if you don't have any mutual friend with any of your friends, so instead of whatever value is showing right over here, like you can see here, this friend, I don't have any mutual friend with it, so whatever value Facebook is showing over here, it is extracted over here. Same goes with here, right? So that's how it is happening over here, right? Now once this is done, in this we are going to give the name of these two variables. So how we can do that? We will create a two-dimensional list, right? And in that we're gonna just put a two-dimensional array, sorry, and here I will just say name and then mutual count. Okay, and right over here what I will do is I will just put this thing. Okay, now let me just comment this, and let's just try to see if this gives the expected result. Yeah, it is doing that. Right now we in the data we don't need 0 and 1, we require only these things, right? So what we can do is we can create df final, and inside that we can keep this item. Okay, let's just keep this thing. All right, now, and that will be done over here, and then we will just print this top 5 rows. So here you see this is how the data is looking like. Now we are done, right? So the next thing which we need to do is just put this into the Excel, right? So I will just say, let me just see if that particular file is created or not, right? So it is opened. Now I'll just close that and I'll create new one, df underscore final, oops, please bear with me, underscore final, and to Excel. Inside that we're gonna say to Excel, and here we will just put the location of our folder where we want to export this, right? So I will just say this, and inside that, oops, over here, and here I will say fb list.xlsx. okay, and here I will just say index equals to false, because I don't want to produce this index number into my Excel. Now when you run this, you come over here, and here you will see this particular list has been created. Okay, Now just give it, let's just give it some time. It is over here, and now like you can see, here we have the friend's name, and here we have the number of mutual friends. Here we don't have anything because it neither had the friends, mutual friends, nor any other information updated over here. So this is how you can create a list of all your friends. Let me know into the comment section what else you would like to learn to scrap from the web. Until then, happy learning. Wish you very all the best.